The following program is brought to you by the Midas Gold Group.
This is the Gold Standard from the Midas Gold Group with Kenneth Russo. Hello, I'm Dave Dino. Welcome to the Gold Standard, your source for secure investment opinion and information on the advantages of purchasing and owning precious metals. Whether you're a novice investor or an experienced collector, this is the program that gives you a realistic weekly perspective on the state of the economy, reliable information about using precious metals such as gold, silver, and platinum to safeguard your wealth, and remarkable details about specific precious metal coins and bullion. Ken Russo is a senior vice president at Midas Gold Group, and his peers characterize him as a straight shooter who will work harder for you than anyone else. Ken, it's great to be back with you again today.
Yes, sir, Dave. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm very thankful to be able to talk to you once a week and have everybody listen.
It is a very special weekend. We usually start our time together looking at economic conditions in America and around the world, and more times than not, we have to look at disturbing news. But today, we are going to look at, and this is going to be the theme for the day, things to be thankful for. And I want to start, since we are a program that deals with precious metals, I want to start about being thankful that we can own gold and silver and platinum and other precious metals. It wasn't always that way, was it, when the government decided that it wanted to be the sole depository of gold, right?
Well, that's exactly right, Dave. Many people may remember out there that through Executive Order 6102 in 1933, FDR made it illegal and criminal to own gold. At that time, there was a gold standard. Every single paper dollar was backed by a certain amount of gold. But unfortunately, the economy was sluggish. It was just being hit big time from the end of the Roaring '20s. And they needed to stimulate the economy. They didn't have enough gold to do it. So tell everybody to turn in their gold, melt down the coins, and print as much money as they want. Kind of just started the big mess that we're in today.
Wow. So what changed? What happened that allowed us to once again buy and own gold?
Well, it was a nice little trade for the government, as in 1933 they bought everyone's gold, and in 1934 they put it back out on the market at about a 75% gain. So that was a nice little trade. But in 1975, Gerald Ford lifted all restrictions on gold. Gold, Dave, can now be freely held in the United States without any licensing or restrictions of any kind. So, as an investor, you can buy and sell gold bars and gold coins as wealth preservation.
Something else I'm thankful for, and I didn't have this on our agenda, but it occurred to me, and that is I am really thankful that we have a lot of privacy in the gold that we own. With all of our other financial transactions, we really don't have privacy from prying eyes of the government or others. But with gold, we can buy it and we can own it, and it's our private matter, right?
Yeah, Dave, that's a great point. It's one of the last, if not the last, tangible assets that's very liquid that you could hold outside of the banking system and privately. Because don't forget, our freedoms at the bank and our freedoms concerning money and our privacy is basically completely gone. And judging at some of the comments on some of the people who are leaders right now, they would like it to be permanently to have privacy and freedoms at the bank eliminated. So it's one of the last private assets and very important to us at this point to own gold privately.
You're listening to the Gold Standard with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group, and today our topic is things to be thankful for. Ken, let's turn to the reasons to buy gold, which we are thankful for in today's unsettled economy, and I stress unsettled. I came across an article today that showed how food prices have vaulted to the highest level in a decade, which means that a family's spending power is being reduced and the dollar is losing value, right?
Yeah, Dave, the dollar always loses value and always buys less in the future. It started all the way back in 1971 when Richard Nixon took us off the gold standard, and that kind of started a huge swoon for all paper currencies. There's not one good paper currency out there, not one strong currency. They keep printing paper dollars, Federal Reserve notes. If people look at their money, it now says Federal Reserve notes. It doesn't say anywhere that it's money. It's backed by nothing. The dollar has lost about 80% of its value against gold in the last 20 years, and most currencies have lost about 97 to 97% of their purchasing power, Dave, against gold over the last 50 years. So a sure bet is that the dollar will always buy less in the future, and it could crash sometime in the future, which a lot of people are talking about.
Well, as you indicated, food prices are not the only sector of the economy that's being affected by record inflation. But the good news is that gold provides a hedge against inflation. Ken, how does that work?
Well, gold retains its purchasing power. Obviously, it's not infinite. There's only a certain amount of it, and that's it. Gold goes up when the value of the dollar, goes down or buys less. That's its relationship. Gold has typically outperformed all currencies pretty dramatically in the last 10, 20, 30, 40 years. Don't forget, gold was around $300 an ounce 20 years ago, and now it's over $1,800 per ounce. So it's definitely, as money, outperformed paper money significantly. It's a store of value, Dave. It's a liquid, medium of exchange. Gold is money. It's been money for 3,000, 4,000 years, and at this particular moment, it's very, very important that people have, especially for their cash reserves or their risky assets, a portion of that moved into gold to keep it preserved.
A reminder here that you're listening to The Gold Standard with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group, and today our topic is things to be thankful for. In a few moments, we'll take a look at a specific gold product that you can add to secure your wealth.
Sebastian Gorka here. The Biden-Harris administration is governing through an unprecedented number of executive orders. We have a good idea of what their agenda means for the country and for your finances. More debt, more regulations, slower growth, and higher taxes. There's even talk of a digital wallet currency and a so-called Great Reset. With massive new spending programs, the Fed is printing money even faster than before. This will likely cause the dollar to fall and gold prices to rise. That's why it's never been more important to own physical gold and silver, and the dealer I trust to do business with is veteran-owned Midas Gold Group. The experts at Midas Gold can even help you convert a portion of your IRA into physical gold and silver to stabilize your portfolio against the coming storm. Call Midas Gold Group for their guide to owning bullion and coins today. 855-322-GOLD. That's 855-322-4653 or MidasGoldGroup.com.
And we're back with more of The Gold Standard, brought to you by Midas Gold Group with Ken Russo. I'm Dave Dino, and our topic today is things to be thankful for. Oh, by the way, if you live in the Los Angeles or Phoenix areas, you have a real advantage because you can visit our local office to meet with us in person. For the address and the directions, just log on to our website, MidasGoldGroup.com. MIDAS. That's MidasGoldGroup.com. And for those of you listening in other cities, you can call us directly at 855-322-GOLD. There's no boiler room here. You're talking to one of the principals of the company. That number again is 855-322-GOLD. By the numbers 855-322-4653. Now, let's treat ourselves by looking at a specific gold product. And since this is Thanksgiving weekend, an American holiday, let's look at a distinctly American coin, the gold American Eagle. Tell us about it, Ken.
Well, it's probably the standard, Dave, when you talk about gold coins, especially for Americans who are patriotic and they want to buy a quality American coin. It's the iconic walking liberty design, Dave, of Augustus St. Gaudens, which was from 1907 or so when they made that coin, the St. Gaudens, and they kept the front of the eagle the same. in my estimation, this is the most beautiful design on any gold coin, in the world, which
Wow.
is why it's a preferred government issued bullion coin, which means that it's issued by the United States Mint. Now, that does matter, Dave.
Hmm.
It does carry weight. I would say it's the most popular gold coin in the world. Now, the gold American Eagle was first authorized by Congress, Dave, in 1985. And this coin was an instant smash. It's reached iconic status almost overnight. It's a top choice, top one, top two, top three choice for any serious gold bullion investor. It's IRA qualifiable. You could hold it in your hand. You can put it at home in your gun safe. Keep it under your mattress. It's a tremendous coin for you and for your future generation.
Ken, some gold coins are minted by the millions, but not the gold American Eagle, right?
No, I mean it's a relatively low rate. It's pretty modest. I would say that it's anywhere from about a million coins to maybe 800 or 900,000 per year.
Hmm.
So any chance, Dave, to pick this up, either a current year brand new coin or previous years, it's tremendous coin. I would encourage people to take it very seriously. We feel that if gold does well in the next few years, this coin will possibly double or triple in value. And for all of the risky assets out there, Dave, the gold American Eagle should preserve wealth, and we believe it should be a part of every single American savings and portfolio at this particular moment.
You're listening to The Gold Standard with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group, and today our topic is things to be thankful for. Ken, as you hold a gold American Eagle in your hand, and I envy you doing that, give us a word picture of it, if you will.
Well, strong, when we talked about the dollar before, Dave, we talked about weak. We talked about buying less in the future. We talk about always falling in value. When I look at this and hold this, and you have some,
Hmm.
you know what it is.
Hmm.
It's powerful. It feels like it's sturdy, and that's what money should feel like. So when I look at it, when I hold it, I feel proud to have it. I feel privileged to have some of my savings and some of my family savings in it. At least I know they'll have something that has value. And in my opinion, it's the standard. That's kind of how I feel about it.
Mm. It's minted in 22 karat gold, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's not a 24 karat gold. It still has an ounce of gold in it, but it has a couple of other alloys in there, which just gives it a little bit of a browner tint than, say, the gold American Buffalo. But this also makes it extremely durable, strongly resistant to scratching. It's the largest gold coin, Dave, struck by the U.S. Mint. Its purity is guaranteed by the American government. It weighs a bit over 1 troy ounce because of those other alloys that are in there that you and I were talking about. But remember, it's a 22 karat gold coin, but it does qualify for the IRA. It is you are allowed to hold it yourself. As I said, the front hasn't changed in over since 1907. So you're talking roughly over 114 years. For the front hasn't changed. And the back this year just went through a little bit of a revision. The back of the coin, Dave, or the reverse
Hmm.
or tails, it's a striking love scene between two noble members of our national avian species. Or for those out there that didn't understand that, two eagles, yeah, a boy and a girl, and the bald eagle brings an olive branch to the nest of a mother female guarding her hatchling babies, which is real beautiful. But like I said, this year it changed. There's also a Type 2 Gold Eagle where the front has remained the same. Everything's the same, but the back eagle looks a little different, where there's a side profile of a bald U.S. eagle. Still beautiful, just a little bit different. The coin, Dave, bears a $50 face value. And like I said, all eagles are fully guaranteed by weight and purity by the U.S. Mint, the U.S. government. It's IRA eligible. It's secure. It's attractive at these levels. Gold is still cheap. In our opinion, it's a must own at this particular moment for anybody out there who's worried about their savings or their stocks. Move it into some gold American Eagles.
Yeah, it's quite an impressive coin. I want people to know that you're listening to The Gold Standard with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group, and today our topic is things to be thankful for, and we will continue in just a moment.
Dr. Sebastian Gorka here. Part of the so-called Great Reset from the multinational elite is to enact a digital wallet currency. Think of the implications. Time to create your own gold standard with a call to the dealer I do business with, veteran-owned Midas Gold Group, the America-first precious metals experts who can help you with IRAs and more. Get your portfolio reset with gold and silver. Call Midas Gold Group for their guide to owning bullion and coins today. 855-322-GOLD. That's 855-322-4653 or MidasGoldGroup.com.
And we continue now with the Gold Standard, brought to you by Midas Gold Group with Ken Russo. I'm Dave Dino. If you live in the Los Angeles or Phoenix area, come on by and visit our local office to meet with us in person. For the address and the directions, just log on to our website, MidasGoldGroup.com. MIDAS, MidasGoldGroup.com. And for those of you listening in other areas, just call us directly at 855-322-GOLD. I hope you'll write that down, keep it handy, and that you will use it and call us, 855-322-GOLD. If you want to write it down by the numbers, 855-322-4653. We're talking with Ken Russo, Senior Vice President at Midas Gold Group, and today our topic is things to be thankful for. So, Ken, we've talked about how thankful we can be that we are able to buy and hold gold as a hedge against inflation. But you've also stated that gold is a great way to preserve wealth. Tell us more about that. It has a pretty good track record, doesn't it?
Yeah, Dave, it does. And remember, gold in your possession. We believe if you don't hold it, you don't own it. We're not talking about paper gold here. It's not ETF gold. This isn't mining shares or nothing like that. This is the real deal, real coins, real bars. And it does preserve wealth. It should be looked at as money. You know, it hedges inflation, but that's only one aspect of what it does. But in our opinion right now, things are very, very risky. Paper assets could just disappear. And it makes sense that people out there that have some wealth, whether if it was from being smart, great trader, great investor, brilliant, it doesn't matter. Maybe somebody inherited it. Take a good portion of it at this point. We've seen this before back in 2000 and 2008 when markets get way ahead of themselves. There's a bubble. This is the bubble, everything bubble at this point. And before it pops, you want to try to move some assets out into physical gold to try and preserve your wealth.
And that kind of contrasts with another article that we saw this week with the headline, Federal Reserve to start withdrawing its emergency support for the economy. Many believe that the Fed has artificially propped up the economy. What would happen if they begin to back off?
Well, the Fed has definitely propped up the economy artificially, and the central banks of the world have definitely propped up the economies of the rest of the world. As soon as they kind of pull the rug out from all of this, and don't forget, the Fed was buying bonds monthly in September of 2019 because there was a liquidity problem. There's too much debt out there, Dave, and there's too much that people don't understand. And when it comes down, it's going to come down like a house of cards. Now, at this particular moment, everybody's enjoying the joyride. A lot of speculation, a lot of gambling, but eventually that's going to end. So be smart. Do something about it and try and protect what you can now, because once it starts to fall, most people won't be able to get out.
Kind of sounds like the old roaring 20s that led up to the stock market crash.
We've seen a lot of manias in history, Dave, and people have to know that history matters. You know, we saw tulip mania in the 1600s. We saw, bicycle mania in Britain back in the late 1700s. We saw the dot-com mania in 1999, and we all know how that ended, as most companies went to zero. Some of them survived, but a lot of them didn't. Now today, there's a lot of speculation in high-flying stocks, high-flying cryptos, real estate. Like I said, same game, different players. But the sophisticated investor out there, Dave, is smart, and they'll protect some of it in physical gold you could hold, because they want to preserve their wealth. They know that has stood the test of time.
Having looked at all the warning signs of economic difficulties looming on the horizon, let's take a moment and let's talk about the sheer joy of owning gold, or as you said, gold you can hold. It is pretty satisfying to collect gold and to see it grow as you add to it regularly, isn't it?
It is, Dave. It's a privilege. And it's a privilege to work with some smart people that work hard for our clients and respect our clients. And it's good to have that type of relationship. So it's a privilege to own gold. It's not going to be available at these prices forever. And gold, in our opinion, is still very undervalued as the gold price, Dave, has not reflected the devaluation of our paper currency yet. Not at all. So we believe to have it at these particular prices is a privilege. It's undervalued. It's conservatively priced. And we believe that it's very enjoyable to hold a tangible asset that you could hold on to, show your family what's real money, and has the potential to go up 50, 100% based on its track record over the next few years.
We have just a few moments left. There are several ways to start your own collection, aren't there, Ken?
Yeah, absolutely. And it all begins with a phone call. Give us a call or send us an email and let's schedule a conversation and let's find out about your particular situation. Some of our clients own a lot of gold through an IRA transfer or through an old 401k rollover. Some of our clients just have some extra cash reserves that they want to buy some in one big chunk or maybe a little at a time, maybe every month or maybe every quarter. But like I said, let's put together a plan. The best time to buy gold was about 20 years ago, and the second best time to buy gold, Dave, is today.
What if I want to add, as I alluded to earlier, what if I want to add on a regular basis, and that is a set amount maybe every month or every quarter or every year? You can help me set that up as well, right?
Yeah, and it all starts with good communication with your representative at Midas Gold Group. And we have clients that we speak to sometimes weekly, sometimes monthly, sometimes quarterly. But we're only a phone call away, Dave. We're here Monday through Friday from 8 to 4 Pacific time. And you could always speak to a live trader. We're very accessible. We return our phone calls. Our clients speak to the actual traders themselves, just not customer service people. And we are very proud of that. So, like I said, we're very reachable. And clients could set something up in some way that they feel is comfortable, not to mention sleep at night knowing that they own gold, and it all starts with a phone call.
Well, our theme today is thankful, and I am really thankful that I have a part of my family's wealth in gold, particularly and especially gold from Midas Gold Group. I got to tell you, I feel that no matter what happens in our economy, that I have the solid value of gold protecting my family. And that brings us to the end of our time together today here on the Gold Standard with Ken Russo, brought to you by Midas Gold Group. A reminder, opinions given here are not intended to be specific to your investment strategy, but rather general information to give you a better understanding of investing in precious metals. For answers to your questions, call Midas Gold Group at 855-322-GOLD. That's 855-322-GOLD. Buy the numbers 855-322-4653. And the website is MidasGoldGroup.com. MIDAS, MidasGoldGroup.com. I love that we can always remind people of this final point in our program together today, that the Midas Gold Group is proud to be America's #1 veteran-owned gold dealer, supporting veterans' causes with a portion of profits donated to the Wounded Warriors Project and the Semper Fi Fund. So your investment in your future is also an investment in the future of those who have bravely served the cause of freedom. We're in this together. Again, the number to call to speak directly with Midas Gold Group is 855-322-GOLD. Ken, thank you so much again for your time today.
Yeah, and thanks again to you, Dave. Also, and all the veterans and soldiers out there, we wouldn't have our freedom, whatever we have left, without you. So thank you.
I'm Dave Dino, and I hope you'll join us again next week at this same time for another edition of The Gold Standard.
The Gold Standard was brought to you by the Midas Gold Group.